I like to paint from time to time. It usually just depends on the combination of when I feel like I have a good idea and when I want to see what I'm capable of doing. I usually end up having done 1 or 2 paintings in any given year, but my latest has taken the better part of 2 years. Part of the reason it took so long was because I started it before I moved house, which is kind of funny because it's a painting of where I used to live. It's a town known for being popular with grey herons, so popular that they are sometimes found wandering in the urban area. Like in this photo I took a while back. I really liked the composition when I cropped into it, but because it was just a phone photo, it wasn't the sharpest, so I thought it would make a nicer painting. With the idea in my head, I set off down to my local timber yard to pick up some wood for a stretcher. It didn't take long to get the canvas stretched, and I started painting. Here comes the time lapse of about 10 hours of brush time. I didn't get very far with the painting before the chaos of moving house descended on us. I stopped work on it here and had a whole load of distraction diverting my attention away from pressing on with the painting. Once I got a bit more settled though, my mind returned to it. But with the distance of time, I began regretting my ambitions with this painting. Why did I pick an image with so much characterless brick? I ended up getting a laser level for my birthday, which not only proved useful for working on the house, but also excellent at helping me paint all of the straight lines of brickwork. I didn't really want to paint all of the pointing in though, out of fear that it would be too distracting from the heron that's the focal point of the picture. The lines I painted using the laser as a guide were straight enough, but the colour wasn't, so it was a bit of a knock to my confidence and I let myself get distracted by some other jobs. I hate leaving projects unfinished though, so a few months later I returned to this painting. I had a bit of a hard time with all of this brickwork. I couldn't figure out where the balance between making it not the focus of the painting and adding detail was. At about this point, I began wondering whether painting the heron in now would be a bit like eating my dessert before I finished my vegetables. Painting the murky canal water was a bit unappealing, but it was an important part of the composition, so there was no avoiding it. The inspector came by and told me I was doing okay, and a few days later the canal was done. My brush strokes on the water in particular were looking a bit weird off axis, so I put a little glaze medium over the whole thing, which once it dried seemed to solve my problem. I described in my last video about painting pictures how much time is spent trying to psych myself up to make paint strokes. With the canal water done, there wasn't much left to do but get on with the heron. Once I found the courage, it took all of about 20 minutes to paint the bird, and suddenly it looked like it was meant to. Pretty soon after that, the whole painting was finished. Painting this was a trip. Every time I finished a section of it, I thought what I just did looked awful. But once I did the next part, the bit before began looking acceptable. There's admittedly a vanity to me publishing a video like this, which is funny because I genuinely have no idea if my paintings are any good or not. I'm such a misanthrope, I don't really have any peer judgment. But then I'm painting for my own amusement anyway, so what does anyone else's opinion matter? I feel okay about this painting though. I've grown to quite like the last painting I did, even if I felt really uncertain about it when I finished it. I've grown to like it enough to put it on the wall in my new office even. By that measure, the heron is good enough to go on the wall as well. Thanks for watching this video.
Thank you.